Sup, friends? This is Jazz bringing you another Sims Let's Talk. It is number 6, and yeah, about a week or so late. I apologize, but a lot has gone on, which is good. I have more to tell ya. First and foremost, I do gotta get on a serious note. I've had a few, well, I can't say the rudest comments on my videos about myself. I'm not gonna bring up any names. You guys will know who you are. It is none of my regular subscribers or viewers, which I know they would never do. One was, go for a jog, it'll do wonders. And the second was, get off the internet. Now, in some ways, at least they didn't use bad words, right? But, I mean, and as I said, like, I'm not terribly upset about this, but it is really unwarranted, you guys. So, if I see you guys do something like that again, I'm blocking you. Right? I mean, I don't know if I already did, but if I didn't, then I am. Everyone does deserve a second chance, unless it is extremely life-threatening. Now, they didn't threaten my life, which, thank God. But, as I said, I'm just going to ignore it. I mean, I'm bringing it up this time, right, just as a caution, but my main thing is, if you guys say something like that, anyone future-wise, I'm just going to either ignore or block you. You're not going to get a big reaction every single time it happens. But since, which thank God for me, it was rare and in between. It happened other times before, but it's rare and in between, so I don't often make a big deal like that. And in future, unless it's life-threatening and I have to say something, I'm not going to. So, if you guys have a fetish for trying to get something out of me, it's not going to work. I'm happy what I'm doing, and for me, that's what matters. You guys aren't driving me away from it. So, again, warning to anyone thinking of saying things like that, or anything really degrading, it's not worth it, guys. Just, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Don't watch my videos if you don't like it. That is perfectly fine. Again, thanks for listening about that. Sorry for you guys who have no part in it, right? Like just enjoy the video. Also, what else? Well, I'm not going to go into much details, but I got actually a decent amount of new games, so you'll have several gamers pickups for a while. I'm just saying that in advance now, so be prepared for it. Well, I can't say be prepared for it, because they're going to be months in advance, but we'll say as of now, record it, I got 61 gamers pickups, and you saw like maybe 33 or 34 of them, so you'll have them well into the year, at least until the next, April. Just thought I'd let you know that. What else? I haven't been very, I know this may not seem it, because you've seen a lot of videos on my channel, but active-wise, making them, lately, I've been feeling like, I don't know if I should be concerned about it, but I've been feeling more lethargic in a way. Like, not terribly, not like I couldn't do anything, right? It's, what I mean by that is by 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night, I just want to go to bed. That's kind of what I mean, and maybe my natural system is finally calming down. I don't know. I can't know if I should use the word lethargic, because that might be a little too concerning into what it is. But we'll just say that, like, most of the time, the favorite thing I like to do is either watch videos on YouTube or just lay down and play my handheld games. And I don't know, that could be a lack of motivation, too. Like I said, I do try. Guys, when I'm up for it, I do a really good job with it. But otherwise, like, it's something I still really enjoy and love to do. It's just that I haven't had as much motivation as I have maybe a year ago. Like, not even that, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Like, I don't know. And I mean, if you guys think there's something concerning, like, I hope not, because, like, my family, if something was really going on, they would notice. But I've said that to my aunt, too, that I've just been wanting to go to bed at, like, 5 or 6 o'clock. And you know what? I'm recording this at 7, so it's a good day. But, although, to be fair, I do wake up early in the morning, too. Like, but I just feel like by 7 o'clock, I usually felt so tired. And, like, maybe I'm emotionally exhausted? It could be it. Oh yeah, I haven't been given much information about this character right here. Her name is Laura Marjorie. And I named her after, as it said, one of my friends had passed about a month ago. Marjorie is not her last name. I'm just going to keep some of the stuff private. Right? Marjorie is what my grandmother's name was, only it was spelled with a Y instead of R-I-E. So, I thought that way sounds more like a last name than the R-Y. Or, you know, the Y in it. But yeah, she was my grandmother on my father's side of the family. Actually, my other grandmother's name was Pearl. Yeah, I believe they both, no, I'm trying to think. My grandmother, for a time, lived in the United States. Marjorie did. But my grandmother, on my other side, Pearl, was actually born in England. Interesting tidbit. Yeah. So, in other words, I mean, okay, I don't know if my grandmother Marjorie was born in the U.S., or she just lived there for a time, but my father was born in Canada. So I don't think I have more British blood than I do the U.S. Like, there's more of a chance that I have British blood. I don't know if the United States even has, like, a blood, or, you know, like, heritage. Like, guys from the U.S., or guys or females or whatever from the U.S., is that possible? Like, are Canadians and U.S. different that way, or... I mean, okay, I don't know much about genetics and everything, right? Because I know British is different. They have their own, you know, way of speaking. Like, okay, not completely. I mean, they have English in their vocabulary, but their accents are different, which I haven't inherited. 99% of the time. Very rarely, like, no one really even notices it. Once in a while, I swear I have a tinge. Like, I'll speak and it'll sound more British, in a way. Like, it'll have that swing of an accent, but not to the point where anyone would notice because of how fast I talk. But I just seem to notice it. And it's not even, like, for a long period of time. Like, I might say a word or something, it'll come out, you know, that way. But yeah, my grandmother was born and raised in England, and she came to Canada. I don't know when she did. Like, and my mother was born in Canada. So I think all her kids were born in Canada. So I'm probably the second generation I know of that was born in Canada through that, and her side. Like, I don't know much. I mean, I never use, like, Ancestry.com or whatever, right? So I don't know. But if Mom and them were born in Canada, then they would be the first. Like, I don't know if all of my grandmother's family before had lived in Britain, but I know that her mother and father did. So, from what I can remember, I would probably be the second generation. Yeah, second generation on my mother's side, born in Canada. And because I was the only child, and I was born later than my aunt's children. Like, the aunt that her sister, my mother's sister, has 3 fully grown children. Right? One in their 50s. So, yeah, my aunt is getting up there, right? But they have children, and one of them is fully, and she has grandchildren. One of them is fully grown, like as an adult herself. So her grandchildren would be second generations on her side. It's kind of confusing, like on her son's side. So I know it's very confusing. That's just the way I'm like seeing it, right? And one of her granddaughters. Oh no, she has two. She has 2 fully grown granddaughters. One is close to my age, and her granddaughter has a daughter. So it's interesting. Like as I said, she had 3 fully grown children. So between the 3 of them, she has 4 grandchildren and 1 great grandchild. So it's just, to me, it's quite interesting, and I was an only child. Right, so I will not and plus I can't have any children, so I will never be an aunt, I'll never be a mother. As I joked to the aunt, Kathy, my line stops here. Well, my father's does, sadly. And then so does my mother's. As I joke, the gene pool stops there. But as I said, things happen that way. I mean, at least there is my aunt. And I think I have an uncle too. But I think he's passed too. But I think he's had a child or something. Did he? Maybe. I can't remember. Like, I honestly don't remember. You see, my biological uncle lived in Ontario. And I rarely got to see him. But was he older than my aunt? No, Janet, I'll call her. That's her name, though. I don't know if I think he was a little bit older than she was, a year or 2. Like, I think Janet was the middle child and my mother was the baby. And sadly, she passed first. Because my uncle passed about 2 or 3 years ago, I think, where my mother passed in 2009. And the middle child, it's funny. My father's side of the family, he was the baby. And I'm trying to think. No, my oldest uncle, who I can't say for certain because Kathy really thinks he didn't, but for as long as I could remember, I remembered being told he had Down syndrome. And so that's always how I thought. But Kathy said no, he was just but she's not saying it, guys. She wasn't saying it to be mean. She was just, that was just the term back then, and I'm not going to use it. But she said no, I think he was just mentally handicapped. But I'm like, he had the features, cause at work, there's a lot of clients with Down syndrome, and my uncle had those features they do. So I could be wrong. And I'm not showing you guys. My family, I'm not showing you those pictures. No matter what. But anyway, his name was Billy, and he passed 2011, I believe, a couple years after my mother. So he lived to his 60s, which was a really good age for someone they said would have Down syndrome. Back when he was born, he probably wasn't considered to live till his 20s, if he was lucky. But, as I said though, my father passed next, and the middle child, my Uncle Daryl, is still alive to this day. So on both sides of my family, the middle child survived. Well, I'm the only child. hope that doesn't say anything for me. I mean, I suppose that way I could say I'm the oldest, youngest, and middle. Hopefully I'll just aim towards the middle. Because it seems like the middle children in my family have the most luck. I mean, although it was opposite of on my family which died first, where my mother side it was the youngest who died first, and on my father it was the oldest. But so far the middle children seem to be doing alright. So yeah, I'm gonna aim to be the middle child. But yeah, I know it's different, like me talking about something my family or different like that. But it's, yeah, and some of you are probably gonna joke, where does the weight come from? Yeah, I mean, I hope no one does that because of the jogging thing. But I would say my mother's side, if anything. But as I said, I really, like, as much as I didn't like that comment, it does hold some truth, where the other one, just get off the internet. I won't hold any warrant to that. Probably should jog a little bit. I mean, it's partially my fault too, for the weight I am. But if there is any genetic factor in it, it is my maternal side, or mother's side. Because I had quite a few family members overweight. So, but anyway, I didn't pretty much forgot to tell you about what I'm doing on this file. I'm pretty much doing a quiverful challenge, in a way. If you guys haven't heard of the term quiverful, it's pretty much meaning having a huge family. Not 100 babies, and you know what, not even with different fathers. The term is like, have you guys heard of the Duggars? Most of you probably have. Though, I mean, you would be under a rock if you haven't at least heard of them. Maybe you don't watch them or know enough about them, but, and guys, I am not a fan of them. It's hard to explain how I necessarily feel about the Duggars. I mean, I don't know whether I should say that I hate them. Because there's some, we'll say maybe I don't hate all of them. Like, for example, I really don't care for Jim Bob and Michelle at all. Joshua Duggar, no. All three of them I would consider, well, I don't know about, I can't really say where I would argue about Jim Bob, but the three of them, you know, as I said, I don't say things that are disrespectful, but the rest of the children, I mean, okay, we'll say I don't really care for Derek Dillard so much either. I don't know if I would really judge Jill, though. I mean, like most of the Duggar kids, I honestly don't have a problem with. In fact, I sort of feel sorry for, in a way. They were brought up in a certain way, like I know, like, families have the right to have their values. That's fine, but do they have to rub it in everywhere? Like, and do they have to judge, like, it's okay to respect people's values, but if it's hurting someone, like, there was a situation on their Facebook page that, yes, I was on their Facebook page a few times, but they had a post of Michelle and Jim Bob kissing, you know, like, what they do, and they said, well, your happy couples post pictures on here to share with us. There was a gay couple who posted they were happy picture. I didn't see it, and they instantly removed it. They took it down. Yes, they're homophobic. I am pretty sure. At least Jim Bob and Michelle are, to a degree. Like, or they may not act it. They may try to act otherwise, or try to use an excuse, but, and Derek Dillard has a similar boat. I mean, he did at one point where he made this rude comment about this other young girl or boy. Okay, let me relax and re-speak what I'm saying, for it won't come out wrong. This young girl, who was born a male, well, let's say transgendered, and her name was ironically Jazz, so I could relate. Like, she had her own show on TLC, along with, Counting On, the spin-off of 19 Kids and Counting, and Derek went out and said she shouldn't have a right to have a show. Why are they broadcasting this? And it just came out. It was so wrong. You guys can ignore this because I'll never go back to this guy again. I just thought I would have some fun there because there's going to be a special guy for Laura in the future, which will be very soon. But anyway. But he was, completely rude. Actually, as soon as that incident happened, he and Jill, I don't know if Jill was completely removed, but they were removed from the cast of Counting On. So TLC at least is kind of doing something, but when you think about it, there's been a lot of controversies with the Duggars. I mean, I'm not saying all of the poor guys Duggars are like that, but Joshua Duggar, Derek Dillard, now I know I say Dillard, but he's associated through marriage, so I'm counting, any marriage, husbands or spouses in this. Should TLC just learn? Here's the new guy. Still gonna edit him a little bit, but this is Bray. Bray Hamilton. Cute, isn't he? Okay, I know. If I would find the perfect partner and make him the perfect partner. Yeah, I think I'm editing on... Yeah, I can't remember if I edited on there. But yeah, he's also a kleptomaniac as well. I don't know why I added that, because I don't know if I'm going to use it. I probably should change it up a bit. But anyway, we're moving in Bray with Laura. Oops. But I admit, though, the Duggar grandchildren are kind of, well, don't take that the wrong way, kind of cute in their own way, or adorable in their own way, but actually, speaking of, the Duggars now have 15, going to be 16 grandchildren. So they're really getting close. They now have more grandchildren than when they started on 14 and pregnant again. Although, to be fair, they're not all one of the families, so at least they're spread out. Speaking of Josh Duggar, the 16th grandchildren is coming from him and his wife, which is their 6th. Wow, the oldest is carrying on the tradition of having the most. Honestly, though, it makes me... I mean, I know I should be happy for him that he seems to be getting his life together, but... My gosh, do I ever feel nervous of him being around his kids? I don't know why, but I mean, it wasn't like he cheated on Anna, but he also had a record, as most of you who've watched this know, and it was with children. Well, yeah, children. I mean, he was a minor himself, and it was swept under the rug, but how can it just... I mean... The Duggars sent him to a church or something to do work or labor or something to reform him. Guys, how does that actually help? I mean, okay, prayer can do amazing things, I guess, but if someone has something in them, I don't think it just goes away that simple. I mean, okay, if I am completely wrong, I do apologize. Like, if he's completely reformed and there's nothing further going on, then that is good for him. I'm pleased and I'm happy for him, but it's just hard to imagine it being that much of a change. But I mean, Anna seems happy, his wife, and his children don't seem in bad shape from what is shown, but that's what is shown. Like, they seem to generally be happy, though. So, if that's the case, then I'm happy for the family. Okay, yeah, I know, I go on a rant over the Duggars now. But, guys, honestly, I was finding things to talk about, too, and what's been on my mind lately and everything. Like, also, I did bring up about Quiverful Challenge, so it had to come out somewhere. I was kind of inspired by it now. Am I going to have 19 kids? Actually, not in this video, no. But as I said, like, I know I do a lot of these with different files, but it spices things up a little bit. And yeah, I know, I never did another Sims 4 from last week. Oh, yeah, you'll be seeing me take pictures too. Try to get some thumbnails for it. Because it's so cute. They're playing water, they're playing, you know, balloon, you know, water balloons. That's it. They're battling with water balloons. I just love that. That is so cute. They're just playing like kids, you know, like they're bonding with each other. I'm doing it naturally, guys. I mean, it's a lot more interesting than just watching her paint all day. Hey, I'm learning. I'm trying to keep it interesting. Now, guys, I have to remember the families I've played with here. I hope they'll remember this one, so I might bring you back to this one in a little bit as their family grows. And maybe after so many kids, one of them will inherit the house and continue on the tradition with their spouse. Like, I don't think I'll be able to keep up with 16 children through their family lives, but I'm going to try to get them to have spouses that I can make them happy with. Like, I'll make their own spouse, like I did with Laura here. But I'll try at least to get them spouses. Now, hopefully they'll have some children, at least a couple. But, and I'll update on it. I was like, it's funny how, like I could never fully Let's Play this game anymore because it's such a continuous game, or, you know, it's ongoing. So, I mean, I could just bring you little family things like that and bring updates on them. I mean, maybe you guys could request what family you'd like to see 1 or 2 parts on. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain. Like, it's funny how I've been pretty good with doing this. I said I was a week late on this, but at the same time, I've been terrible with my other Let's Plays. Yeah. It was kind of easy doing this in a way, because you don't have to think as much. I mean, I suppose you gotta edit, but I really gotta think about what LP I want to stick with. Oh, they're pillow fighting! Aww. They're having all the childish fun as young adults. Guys, never grow up. Oh. She got him good. She got him good. I just love that. But yeah, I have so many Let's Plays on the go. And I'm going to bring them up, but don't expect them all right away. This is what I'm recording. I got Pokemon Ultra Moon. I got Miitopia. I'm trying to think what else. I know I started another one. Where did I? Am I actually pretty safe? Oh boy. But I definitely know I have Ultra Moon. Actually, I think Miitopia would be easier to record at this point. I don't really know. Like, I keep doing other ones, right? That are shorter, you know, to fill it in. Because when you think about it, both Miitopia and Ultra Moon require grinding in a way. Like, Ultra Moon, I have to level up, right? And Miitopia, I also got to level up to progress. So, that's the most difficult part about these games. Like, I could play for so long, right? But then I have to grind again. I mean, I suppose I could start recording it, and then to a certain part, and then read a walkthrough, and level up to a certain part, and then play again. When it comes to Ultra Moon, like, I'm just trying to really think. But you know what, guys? I will give you a little bit of spoilers, but you will see this in the Gamers Pickup about a year or so from now. But these are recorded in advance. One of the new games that I finally bought was Ultra Sun. Finally, I got the other game. Now, again, I'll give you a warning, and I'll warn you in the Gamers Pickup too. A lot of these games I bought, yes, are for the 3DS. I actually went somewhere besides the PC or the Switch. And they're digital, guys. They're digital downloads. I put them on the 3DS that didn't have my recording software. I feel so stupid, but at the same time, the SD card on that and everything had a lot more space, and I don't want to overrun one for my 3DS, my recording 3DS, so, well, any games that I got for that system that were new, I would just do a review on, and I may buy a physical copy of, if I feel like I wasn't going to download everything also on my other one if I wasn't going to Let's Play it. And I didn't know, like, some of the games I didn't know if I was going to Let's Play. So I wasn't going to waste space on it. So what I'm going to do is the games that I got, I will try them out, you know. And once I get more money again, if I feel I want to Let's Play one of them, I will buy it physical for the other one. If I can by that time get them physically. So, yeah, it's just a warning. Some of the games you will not get a Let's Play on, but it's something fun for me to play and to try, you know. And if they're worthy of Let's Playing, then down the road, when I'm sure I want to Let's Play it, I will get a copy for my other 3DS. But only after saving. It took me a while to save for the games that I got for these few ones. And there were games that I wanted to try for a long time. So as I said, like, I'm not bringing up any more besides the Ultra Sun, right? Because, well, that one, like, obviously I was talking about Ultra Moon, and I thought I might as well bring that up. But all the other ones, like, I'm just excited just to play through them. Although I probably should be paying more attention to my Switch or my, well, you know, like. But as I said, there's like a lot of good games for the 3DS too, so I'm just trying to build my collection, and you're thinking, why not get the physical copies? Well, obviously my aunt and I don't like going to the store every single, you know, often. And it's like, so I bought it from the comfort of my own home. And plus, having digital copies of the games make it easier to play them. Imagine playing Ultra Sun, then wanting to play another game and taking it out, putting it in the case, putting the other game in. My gosh. It is so frustrating. I mean, I know there's still games I'm going to have to do that with, but honestly, it's easier just to have digital copies now. Honestly, my aunt does prefer physical copies, but she can also understand that in a way, too, so she allowed me to get these ones digital once I brought that up. The only downside is that the 3DS, like, the one thing is how do I explain it? The 3DS games are easy to lose. You could argue so is the SD card. Yes, but as long as I keep it for the most part labeled and keep it in my 3DS system, that's not an issue. Where it's a lot easier to go off and lose a 3DS cartridge and then never be able to play it again. So honestly, I don't know why my aunt argues about physical copies when it is so much easier. It's safer to have them digitally all in one area. Again, though, I know that if I lose my SD card, I'm pretty much S'd. But... And also, if you're not careful with your SD card, you're pretty much S'd. Now, I am going to say one other game that I got, which I will put in the Gamers Pickup again because I bought a new one. When I was doing something with my 3DS, I think I was formatted it or something. I don't know. I can't remember. That was stupid of me. But I lost my Pokemon Yellow game. You know, the virtual console. So I bought a new one. So yeah, it was very stupid of me. But that's what I mean, like, always be careful, guys. Be careful with your SD card. And at this point, I forget which system I bought it on originally, so I couldn't re-download it in which SD card. Like, they say you can, if you download it and bought it on a 3DS or a certain SD card, you can download it without buying it again. That's what I heard, but honestly, I honestly don't know which one it was. Oh, guys, sorry, I'm going to take a drink. Hold on. I was actually just taking a drink. I'm actually drinking tea with honey in it. Actually, it's not bad. Like, I actually thought I didn't like honey. Like, I tried honey, I think, on pancakes or something. And I hated it. But in this tea, it is not bad at all. Now, I'm not going to go into TMI. I'll bring up some details, you know, those of you who know about my irritable bowel. For over a week and a half, I had trouble going, will it say. And the good thing about it, though, was for 2 of my work days last week, I was almost pain-free. The best days of work I've ever had in a long time. I missed today because I got so much pain. Like, it wasn't even bad for the first week and a half because I didn't feel anything, right? Yeah, sure happened today. So, I'm drinking the tea with honey to help a little bit with that. And I can happily say I don't mind it. It's something I wouldn't mind drinking again, actually. It just tastes like, with the amount that was put in it, which was a tablespoon in the tea, it doesn't taste bad. In fact, it's pretty much blended. It makes it a little sweeter, so I don't need sugar, which is fantastic, too. As Kathy said, it's healthier than... Oh, are they getting... Oh, they're just together, okay. They're not getting married yet, but they're going to, guys, believe me. But they're going to bond a little bit more. But yeah, my aunt said honey is better than sugar for you, but it still has a lot of calories. So use it kind of sparingly. That's a good idea, but at least it's better than sugar. And it actually makes it like 1 tablespoon of that made it... Okay, 1 tablespoon of that. Oh, we're proposing. We're gonna propose. OMG. We're gonna get married. And I'm taking a picture. I'm taking a picture. Yeah. There we are. Now, we can continue. You're happily jumping. That is awesome. I was half nervous he was gonna reject, but they seem so close, right? That it doesn't seem to matter. Honestly, guys, doing this for you guys, doing this Sims Let's Talk, has actually helped me bond with these files a little bit. You know, it made me think of new ideas for stories, and I haven't been able to do for a long time. Like, and it's much easier recording it first, then narrating these stories, because I have more time to think about them. When I'm just playing, all I'm doing is clicking, almost, right? I don't, like, when if I was narrating live and playing it, I would just be focused on the gameplay. Where I notice now with live narration, I seem to focus on like what I have to focus on. And for a while I did not I remember when they did that, that startled me. The first time, like, woo! Gosh, that actually was quite funny. And now we are going to rest. Guess what we're doing? You would never guess. Are we trying for a baby? Maybe. I just still kind of find it so stupid that you're required to do all this every single time you want to try for a baby. Gosh. I mean, you have to, okay, you have to click on her. But anyway, you have to do all of this to try for a baby. Until you're going to see this later. And the one thing I learned was, if you have a shower, you can just jump in and try for a baby. Yeah. Well, at least I know that now. Can't do it in the bathtub. But yeah, we're pregnant. I didn't hear it now, but I know the do played. So okay, guys, I am going to give you a little bit spoilers. In this one episode, we get pregnant 3 times. Yeah, we don't give birth 3 times, but we get birth twice, and you get to meet 3 of the children. Yes, one time there's a set of twins. So we have 3 children in this Sims Let's Talk. Because, I mean, honestly, I give birth very quickly in the first time. I'm not going to go through the whole pregnancy. I don't really with most of them. So far the most I went through was for the second pregnancy, because I was so busy with our son here, which is Ryan. And plus, we end up, I use Bray to help with Ryan, and then Laura just does some stuff like sculpting for a while. So she goes through most of her pregnancy, where with Ryan, it is so quick. I know I didn't get to choose a trait, but I'm just, especially, maybe when I'm playing off camera, I'll do more stuff that isn't, related, but it's so boring showing you guys just doing all that. So I have the children as most of the content, most of the entertainment. We have a bouncy baby boy. Also, I forgot to tell you during this challenge, for each child I have, I allow 1,000 simoleons and 1,000 points for both parents. And that's for the birth, guys. Not for growing. Well, I might also allow 1,000 or 2,000 points for each grown, fully grown to a young adult. But I'm not going to do it for every age up. That would be stupid. So, I'm getting 1,000 simoleons and 1,000 points per each for Ryan right here. Just thought I'd warn you guys this ahead of time. And yes, I have twins in this part too, so you'll get 2,000 simoleons. That's for the household, not for each parent, but the lifetime happiness will be for each parent. But they're so excited. They're so excited to have little Ryan because he wants to snuggle them. They're both family oriented. That's what I made them. So hopefully we won't have any, problems here with Bray or with Laura. But I'm just so excited though. And we got 1,000, so we're getting there, but we're also aging up a little. I usually don't, I age them up pretty quick to toddlers too. I do that in all my playthroughs, because sometimes the babies give you problems, with the whole thing. Because the screen goes glitchy, is what I mean, so it's best just to avoid that. But wow, we have a decent looking baby. Wow, I swear, the mug that I'm drinking from must be pretty, like, has some type of thing, because he's still quite warm. This is our little boy. Yeah, this is Ryan. Isn't he cute? There. He's pretty much ready, I'm sure. But, oh, they're adorable. He's adorable. He looks like his mother and father. No, he looks almost just like his father. He's a spitting image of his father, almost. But yeah, I wanted to show you this outfit, too, because that was just so cute. I'm trying to think of the thumbnail I'm going to make for this. There's so many pictures that I took that are so cute. I mean, I'm getting used at putting pictures together, even in paint. But I just don't know what would be the best ones to put. You know, because I have pictures of all three of the children that I had as toddlers. I have parents getting married. I have them playing. But it seems like you guys seem to like this series okay. Which is a surprise, like... Oh yeah, here's her round 2, guys. Yeah, we just can't have enough babies. I know we just had sex like 10 seconds ago, but let's do it again. A kids channel. Okay, I know. Stealing a quote from the Nostalgia Critic almost. A family picture. Guys, really, seriously, this isn't meant to be exclusively a kids channel. Despite what it might seem on some accounts. This, honestly, I don't know what it is. I know there's children who like to watch this channel. Not look at their kids that do, but it's not exclusively meant to be a kid-friendly channel. I'm just warning you parents ahead that I can play some pretty adult games on here. Well, for the most part. I mean, like, the South Park is certainly an adult game. The Walking Dead, I would say, isn't so child-friendly either. Some other games include it. I mean, because I had Pokemon on my channel for quite a while, so that might confuse some of the parents here. But there are adult players who play Pokemon, so... And yes, to some of you new folks here, I might sound like I'm like 15 years old or younger, but I am 27, going to be 28 in October. Almost 5 months. So, I'm one of those individuals who just have a naturally higher pitch voice for my age. I think I do anyway. I don't know. I'm really trying to think, do I? I mean, I know there's been... I forget her name. There was this YouTuber, a video of a YouTuber I watched. She does animations, and, you know, like, animate stories and that. Animated stories, like where she would tell a story and be all drawing, you know what I mean, those type of YouTubers. And her voice, like, for her age, I think may have been her 20s anyway, early 20s, and she sounded like she could be a child. I mean, a younger, not like a toddler or anything, but maybe 8 years old or 9 years old. And she was in her 20s as well, so I'm sort of fortunate in that way, but I still, for my age, have a younger sounding voice. And I look quite young, too. I mean, some people said I look like I'm at least 20. And then some people mistook me for, like, 3 years ago, I was mistaken for someone under the age of 19. But I suppose it's under the age of 19, apparently not 18. But 3 years ago, I was mistaken for a minor. So, I mean, in some ways, I look close to my age, and in some ways I don't. My height doesn't help me any. And even like Manga ETC at one point thought I was a lot younger than I was, and in fact I'm his age. Or close to his age. So it's... As I said, like, I'm just an adult with a disability. In, like, many ways. So, like, for example, I'm 27, but I might act like a teenager. For example, like, I am at least a couple, well, okay, I'm 27. So a couple might be a little bit of a short statement, but I'm at least a couple years emotionally behind my age, at least. In some ways, I am mature for my age, in some ways, but in some ways, I'm, the opposite. Like, for example, and I'm sorry to all these YouTubers and that who have done this stuff, but, like, I think it is absolutely stupid when people do those stupid challenges, like the cinnamon challenge and all those stupid things, and the Tide Pod challenge. Like, come on, really? I thought it was a bad thing having your mouth washed out with soap, and now they're doing it for fun? Like, in ways like that, like, I'm sensible, right? But I get easily excited about things like cards or video games or even certain toys or action figures. So in that way, I'm younger than my age. I mean, okay, to be fair, there are some collectors. You could say, well, Jazz, you could just be a collector. You may just like the look of them. I mean, you could ask, do you actually play with these toys, Jazz? I actually don't. Now that I speak of it like that, I don't. I like having them displayed. Well, that might make me feel a little bit better. And I also like to do them for my channel, the openings, which could be another reason my channel would be mistaken for a child's channel. I guess I don't help myself very much, but I like to bring variety. Now, anyway, there was a time where, and I appreciated the shout-out. Like, the shout-out from Roshank really helped a lot, right? It opened things up a lot. And if it wasn't for Roshank, I would not have met Manga ETC or the Unman 64. So I do thank him a lot. Because I consider those two genuine friends, right? Plus Vamp Lost Soul I met through Manga ETC. So a lot of things happened because of Roshank's shout-out. But it did kind of get to me in a way, and this was my fault, because at that time that's what he saw, and it was true, that I was brought up as mostly a PokeTuber. And I'm like, oh jeez. I mean, it was brought up by Manga ETC as well. But that was the start of it. I'm like, oh, jeez, is that all I'm going to be known for? A PokeTuber? Guys, I love Pokemon. You know I do. Right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But there are so many PokeTubers out there. And, I mean, to each their own. They're doing it, though, in mind of that, though. With me, I was just playing the games I was comfortable with. Right? I mean, I've played Rugrats on the channel, too. The Sims, I did quite extensively at a time. So I was doing what was in my comfort zone, not to be a certain thing. I was doing what made me happy. But now that I think back on it, that was giving a impression to people of what I was as a YouTuber. And I am proudly, as even a lot of people like the N-Man 64 would say, I am getting out of my comfort zone and doing a lot better. But I am still playing games that I can handle, right? I'm not going to go and play a game and put it on there that I am having a really hard time with, or that I would never be able to completely finish to a certain degree. Like, I want to play games I'm having fun with. Now, you might argue to a degree that I've played games like The Kite, Elmo and Grouchland. To be fair, I actually enjoyed those games. I even said so. In a way, I enjoyed playing it. The Elmo and Grouchland, it was something different, but I could handle the game. And it was just nostalgic and fun. And I don't regret putting it on the channel. Now, I'm trying to think, are there any games that I regret putting on the channel? I'm trying to think. If any, there'd be two in a way. Not that I 100% regret them, but the reason, it's not that I hate the games, obviously what I love, but it's more that they didn't go satisfactory. One was Metabot's Metabee version, because I did not finish the game. I lost the file, and after that I got frustrated. The others were quite a few of my Sims Let's Plays. I know. Jazz, really? I love the games, guys, but I could not do them justice because of everything wrong with the files and everything. And I regret it and I don't. Out of both of those two choices, I regret the Metabots one the most. I sort of don't regret having The Sims on the channel because it was something new for me and added something different at a time because when Roshan brought up the shout out, he brought up, well, she does some Sims Let's Play content that I like too. So that was the only other thing next to Pokemon that was brought up. So I kind of am happy I started the Let's Plays in a way, but I still kind of regret they couldn't have come to what I would have liked, what I would have imagined. Oh, good job, you painted a picture. But technically I feel I'm making it up by doing this series. Yes, I'm not completely focusing on one family, but it refreshes things a bit. And as it does not mean that I will never ever go back to a family. I mean, I might strongly consider going back to this family. I think there was one other that I really liked. I have to look back on it. Oh gosh. Could you picture a few weeks later when I forget this family completely? Oh well, what was I doing? Oh yes, I know what I'm doing now. I got to delete the light. Okay, at first I thought I had to delete the roof, which it helps, but I gotta delete the light. Because the light is in the way of the stairs. Is that possible? I mean, you could walk... Yeah, you could walk right up the lights. I mean, how heavy are the lights? Like, couldn't you just, like, you might bonk your head, but couldn't you, like, still go up the stairs with lights there? It makes no sense. I'm making a whole big room upstairs, which will be quickly filled. This room is for the inventing and the sculpting, which is going to be a main thing for these two Sims. Inventing for Bray and sculpting for Laura. Like, trust me, guys, this can make a whole whack of money. Like, especially if you use the consignment store with the traits I got. So, consignment, it can do wonders. I've been learning through playing this game that it's a decent way to get money. Finally, I can drink this tea without burning my tongue. The first time I took a sip of that tea, my poor tongue, like, it was, like, the tip of my tongue literally just felt a fire and tingly, and it's... Speaking of things like that, I actually watched a list of the top 100 scariest Canadian PSAs. Surprisingly, I did not have a heart attack by any of them. So for me, like, scary, I'm not, how do I say it? I'm pretty easy to scare. But I suppose after a while I got numb to them. And the last one was... Oh yeah, I'm making a shower. This important for this, guys. You can catch on fire doing either of these things. And you can put yourself out, which is good with having a shower there. But the last one was the one where, you know, the sous chef, and she's talking about, oh, but she's not going to be able to get married. That was, the Nostalgia Critic actually did that in his commercials video. The one where he's like, you're a sick kid. I agree, that is a scary. Out of all of the out of all the PSAs I saw on that list, that, even though I was prepared for it, that was one of the legitimate ones that still gets to me. The screaming and the thing going on her face and the screaming, it's like legitimate horror. I mean, I suppose that would cause you legitimate pain and ruin things, right? But God, like I also find it so creepy during those commercials when they're talking about things that they're not going to be able to do, right? Because they're about to be in a terrible accident. Gosh, that makes it even more, like, not ominous and scary. I mean, there's a few of them that died, too. I mean, not the real actors, but the the ones that are portrayed to be in the accidents. Like, there was one African-American guy up there doing some type of, I forget what it was, landscaping or something, and he's saying he worked extra hours to bring his family on a trip out, but my family's about to be told that I was killed in a terrible accident. Suddenly, like, oh my gosh. Okay, that one was kind of scary, too. But, I mean, that was just creepy as anything. Oh, gosh, that shivers. And the line being there really are no accidents. And is that even possible? Like, can there legitimately be accidents that it's no one's fault? Or, okay, I guess though when they say that, they mean work accidents. Pretty much, people have slipped on the road or whatever. Like, that can be an accident that could be unavoidable. But what they mean is, most accidents can be prevented. Like, whether someone made sure the equipment were up to date. Like, and everything was for safety regulation was checked. Like, there was one PSA there where a guy would go and would have to saw something, and there was this padlock. Yeah, but talking about a padlock that had the lock for no one could turn something on there, and it would have the ID of the person inside it. Where if it wasn't there, if you didn't place it there, and someone turned it on while you were inside, you could get really hurt or injured. So things like that can be prevented. Or with that whole Shusef one who burned herself, she mentioned that she should have cleaned up the grease spill that she slipped on, and she shouldn't have had, I think, what is the stove so close, or the pot or something so close. I forget. I couldn't quite catch the other because she couldn't finish the sentence because that's when she slipped. So there were things that could have been prevented. I mean, I think the stupidest thing was the grease spill. Honestly, like. I mean, if you work in a kitchen where there's grease, you should think about it. But I suppose when you're busy and you're rushing, you don't. Right? And there was a few other PSAs on that it scared me. Like, it sort of startled me the first time. But after a while, it just kind of became stupid and even disturbing. There was quite a few examples where someone would end up, like, being boiled or cut in themselves, and they'd be bloody, and it'd be like blood something, I forget what it was, but it was talking about some days are bloodier than others. Like, gosh, I'm like, yeah, the way it's marked, it was so casual. Some days are bloodier than others. Okay, they didn't say it that way, but I swear it's like the way they put it, the words they use are like, well, okay, so if you saw your head right open and you die because of it, some days are bloodier than others. Okay, who's gonna call the family on this person's death? Okay, I know this was meant to be dramatized, but I'm sorry. But after the first once I got used to the shock value of it just became comical to me. I mean, okay, in real life, that is not funny, guys. I'm not saying the real thing happening is funny, but just the tone they use at the end of it. If they had just stopped with the some days are bloodier than, if they had just stopped at the accidents themselves and maybe a horrible screaming, then maybe it would sell. But ending it with the words, some days are bloodier than others? I'm sorry, just... Again, anyone who had actually had a problem, like, someone I know had lost... Someone that I know personally, well, not completely personal, but from work, the father of their child died in a workplace accident. So, I am not saying that it is a funny matter. It is not. With that being said, that is why I find it so stupid and even comical how they ended those commercials, or those PSAs that I was bringing up about. It is not only, it's comical because it's so disrespectful. I mean, I know, oh, what, they're bloody, so we have to add that to it. No! You could show the scene to let others think. Okay, I guess you have to end it with something. So, why not... Okay, I couldn't think of a lot... Now, I can't think of a proper way to end it. Okay. Watch what you're doing. Yeah, simple as that. Accidents can happen. Watch what you're doing. The whole scene of most of these PSAs that I brought up about were, for some reason, they weren't paying attention to what they were doing. And that's why that happened. So, you could put a quote about paying attention in a respectful manner. Like, guys, a situation like that shouldn't be made people laughing. Is that those who have lost people in workplace accidents, okay, I can never feel for you. I've never had that happen to me. But I can respect you. And I do respect you. And honestly, I feel that if PSAs, like if people who make these PSAs can't do it in a way that will be respectful, they should not do it. Now, I know some people are saying, well, what is the big deal, really? Yeah, the whole thing was bloody, so some days are bloodier than others. That one line. Yeah, that one line. I said, even if you said some things can get some... Okay, no, nothing, like... You should have just left the whole bloodline out. It was an accident that caused terrible injury to those workers. I know, a little bit of a sour note. I'm not ending yet. I still got, like, 20 minutes, but what a sour end to go, right? Well, I mean, honestly, guys, doing these videos here, these Sims talks are kind of therapeutic, honestly. So, I mean, I know people don't like me overgoing and complaining, but, and not that I'm trying to use you guys as a therapist, but sometimes it can be the best therapy. Speaking of, I've seen a quote on Facebook, a post of this dog, and it says, my therapy dog after I told him all of my problems. And it showed the dog with big wide eyes. Oh man, that meme, I guess I would call it a meme now, but bet you that's what half of you guys are going to be. Now guys, I don't say everything. There are things that are meant to be personal, but there's things that could also be interesting to you guys, like, and honestly, now that I look back on it, I didn't know how much that PSA got to me, until I actually started to talk about it. Like, it took me a while to go like, huh? Well, that was confusing and disrespectful all at the same time. Like, for example, I mean, maybe this person I was talking about, the person I know, might find it funny now, this type of commercial. And maybe appreciate what they're trying to go for. But at the same time, I mean, she might have more logical sense to take it in stride. But honestly, I don't know how anyone could. Especially if the way their individuals got injured or died were in similar situations like that. Like, there was one, I mean, okay, I can't say that it was funny in a way that it seemed, oh, it could never happen, because it probably could, but there was one situation in a deli where the guy literally chopped his finger off, and it fell right on the meat platter. Oh my God. I mean, maybe that part was exaggerated a tad, but it is possible with very sharp equipment. Like, rarely, thank God, but like, and what is hilarious is that there was three people in this situation. The guy who had his finger chopped off or cut off, sawed off. The one little girl, a girl he was flirting with, 'cause he wasn't paying attention, he was flirting with the girl, and this old lady. Now, as soon as this whole situation happened, the girl was freaked. And maybe not screaming, but freaked out. He ran off to get, he said he needs first. I'm like, first aid? Really? You need more than first aid, buddy. But anyway, and the old lady was like, kind of nonchalantly looking around, like, what? Lady, he chopped his finger off in front of you. What? Okay, I know this was exaggerated, but really, what type of person at all, unless they're sociopathic or psychopathic, just sees that whole scene and goes, she even kind of looked more like tisk, 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 kind of like condescending. Like, oh, well, that's what it gets for flirting with a lady. Okay, yeah, he should have been paying attention, but something was wrong with that lady. I mean, even me, actually really freaked me out. Although, I suppose it doesn't make me have no emotions then. There was a time where I could watch, I forgot what it was. The mysterious Mr. Enter had brought this up. Was it where dead things go to die? It was a disturbing movie with 3 segments, and I saw that and watched that, and I was like, like where most of them said, oh, it was so deeply disturbing, like made them almost physically ill. Me, I'm like, kind of like. But when you think about it, it was in animation, and anything real life, I do tend to freak out. Which, thank God, right? Thank God. Like, oh yeah, he burned himself. Yeah, he burned himself. But anyway, sorry about that. But anyway, anything real life, I tend to be like, okay, pretty much. Or not okay, I tend to freak out, like, so maybe, I guess for me, most animation does not disturb me, like graphic scenes and everything, so maybe, how do I put it? I said, if it's a real life scenario, I wouldn't be able to handle it, so maybe, I don't know how to explain it, like maybe I don't connect as much with the cartoons in a way, where my aunt would probably disagree. She always jokes, oh, I feel more for these video game characters or whatever than I do for anything else. Well, that must prove otherwise. Or I feel more for animals than I do for humans, for sure. And, yeah, I talk about video game characters more, but I made myself a hamper! Hi, hamper! And I made myself one of those imagination boxes. I don't know if I'm going to sell them or what. I definitely couldn't sell them apparently tonight because, well, I went too late to the consignment store. Oh well, maybe if I play off camera I can. But I'm going to have a lot of kids, so maybe I might keep some of this stuff that might be useful. I don't know. Because it costs less money to make than buying the actual thing. I mean, that's one thing about sculpting that actually is kind of fun. You can make certain objects, right, for cheaper. I mean, I don't know if they would be good at all. And inventing is awful fun, too. But yeah, in December, it'll be, I know this is months away, this is like 7 months away almost, but I'll be like 6 years old. And I had the channel before that too. I just didn't get active until the end of December 2013, so I'll be going on my 6th year at the end of it. I mean, for that many years I've been doing YouTube. I was like, what, 21? I was literally, oh, she's going for a strolley. Oh, her and Ryan are going for a little strolley. To give you something different, but that's not going to last long, trust me. Strolls are so short. I mean, everything else, like if they have a water fight or whatever, they're going on forever until you cut them out. With this, it's like a short little stroll. She doesn't even go up the street. She just barely goes up the street. Do 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 do. Let's go on a nice stroll. Let's go on a nice stroll. Isn't this fun? Strolling is so much fun. Well, this seems longer than I remembered. Okay, she does go a small distance away from her house, but it's not. See, she's stopping now. Really? Okay, go home. It was a lot shorter when I played it. But it's still really all that for just going that far, dude. Okay, was that long enough? Alright, Ryan, you had your little stroll. Shortest stroll I ever seen a kid go on. Was it always that short? And she puts him in a playpen. At first, it's not what I wanted him to do, but keep getting pop-ups. That's what I hate. Don't you hate that, guys? I think she wanted to do it. No, she already made a wood one. But yeah, as I said, I've been enjoying doing this series. I'm trying to think back and forth of other series that I could do to add things to it. Right? But at the same time, I gotta work on these Let's Plays. I mean, I have to focus on something. Actually, I've been thinking about countdowns too, actually. I'm trying to think, like, maybe I'll ask you guys' opinion. I'm actually thinking of, and I'll write it down maybe, I'm thinking of doing a top 10 favorite and then the top 10 least favorite South Park episodes. You guys will probably be saying, oh my gosh, Jazz. That is incredibly difficult. Yes, I understand that's an incredibly difficult thing to do. But honestly, guys, I'm mostly going off of just my opinion on it. Not necessarily if they're all great. I'm not saying I'll be putting terrible ones on there, no, but... And I haven't quite finished all the seasons yet. I still gotta go seasons 17, 18, and 19, I believe. I think I've seen 20, 21, and 22. I'm pretty sure. I might have to finish 20. I don't know, but I'm 3 or so episodes into season 17, so I still gotta watch them all to be sure. But I've seen most of them. So, and I already have a good pile of ones I like and dislike. But I want to see them all to be sure. Right? And then move it around. Because I have more than 10 that I like. And I'm going to have to, I'd write all of them down. And then I'm going to dwindle them down after I watch them all. To what I remember that is the greatest. Because I want to have any other ones there to have an option. And I might even do honorable mentions too. So, another top video I'm thinking of doing is the top, so many, I don't know what number, most addicting video games. Because I've just been inspired to do that. I know I'm thinking of a lot of things that I want to do. Like video game reviews, countdowns. I never did a cartoon review in a while, but I think if I do the top 10 South Park ones, that will suffice for a little bit. I mean, I have a lot. that I want to do, and I just got to get up to doing it, because it's funny, like, when it comes to doing some of the research and narrating and everything, I'm great. When it comes to editing everything, however, as I said, I have a pretty short attention span, which ain't great. So as I said, maybe I'll ask Sandman64, maybe I won't, maybe I'll try to research tips myself. I mean, how to keep focused on things. Like, the way I'm seeing it now, that seems to be helping me a little bit. I'm not saying I'm terrible like I used to, I'm just getting better at it, is to break the tasks up. Like, if I'm going to do, let's say, editing a video, I might do, like, if I'm doing a countdown, for example, I might just do a few, like, sequences at a time. And even then, I might only do 1 or 2 for a little bit, and then take a break, and then do another few. Sometimes, like, if I had a top 10 and I did 5 in one day, I might take a break for the day on that subject. But I just try. The saying is, like, I think I'm a procrastinator too. So the biggest thing about procrastination is that if you break things up into smaller, more manageable tasks, it seems to help. And it does seem to help with me. Like, when I did my favorite, videos that I made for the subscriber special, I had to do that. And in fact, it helped when I broke up the 27 list greatly. At first, I was planning to just do a list, like a top 27 in general, but 1, it would be too long for you guys, and 2, it was too long for me to edit. So, I had to break them up. Also, when I did the Walking Dead review, I did a long review, by going through every episode, but then I'm like, that will not work. That will be way too much for both you guys and myself. So I just redid it. I redid it to the point where it was like 30-something minutes. I went through my points. I took breaks. Took my time, but I finally completed it. I was so proud of myself. Like, each time I complete something like that, I feel it gives me pride, in a way. And that's another reason that I kind of enjoy doing this, because, hey, is baby coming? Yeah. Oh, I gave birth there, so now I'm going to name her Dawn. And, okay, we have 1 more, and we're going to name her April. Now, anyway, because I said, I don't care, I feel proud of myself, right? And that's, for me, is the main point. Now, we're just about to get to what I was talking about. You're about to see it soon. Well, she didn't give birth yet to the troublesome one. Yay! And she's going to age up, I believe. I aged up April first instead of Dawn because it was April, I believe, that was causing the issue. Dawn was literally causing the issue. April was literally causing the issue. So that's why I really aged them up quickly that way. Just because of how troublesome they can be. But they're still cute. And I'm proud to say that, I'm proud to say they each look different. Completely different. Like, they look so unique, and I actually like how they turn out. But yeah, we get to see the, oh wait, this is the issue. Oh god. Here we go. Here we are. this is the reason. Like, April is going to be aged up first because she is the reason I know that's causing this issue. Boys, I just love this series. Minus the issues we get. Yay! Wow, April looks so... Like, I'm impressed how they turn out. Honestly, one has really light skin. I mean, I don't know if that's mixed or just light. Like, I don't know quite how they work. Pretty much. If they end up only having one skin color or the other, or do they mix? Like, I don't know how that works. But yeah, we have the birthday girls. Aw, see? This is a pretty little April, who is now the oldest by default. That's what I'm going to call her, the oldest. Gorgeous, isn't she? And here we are with our little Dawn, I think. Is that Dawn? I believe so. Here we are. Now we're out. Yeah, we had an issue, we'll just say, with that too. But we got 2,000 for these two girls. Oh, that is awesome. And guess what? We're gonna have another baby or 2 or 3 or I don't know. You guys won't know either. Well, I might bring it up and introduce them in some other point. But, hooray! I mean, I don't know if I'm going to move these kids out of the house, actually. I mean, the Quiverful Challenge is pretty much living, but then I can only have so many kids, so eventually, maybe I'll marry them out eventually and get them to move out then. And we're pregnant for a 3rd time. Alright guys, I'm going to end this video here. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more of these guys, give it a big thumbs up. And if you're new to this channel and like what you see, please subscribe. Help this channel a lot. Don't forget to hit the bell notification so you'll know when new videos are coming out. And I will see you guys in my next video.